What if I told you the scariest part of the Texas Chain Saw Massacre wasn't Leatherface, but the real-life bands, police involvement, and psychological trauma that followed its release? In 1974, this low-budget film shocked the world and got thrown into censorship chaos across multiple countries. But why? Directed by Tobe Hooper, the Texas Chain Saw Massacre was marketed as a true story, a clever lie based loosely on serial killer Ed Gein. With a budget of just $140,000, the film delivered something that had rarely been seen before: raw, gritty violence that felt disturbingly real. The screams weren't polished. The blood wasn't glamorous. And Leatherface? He was every bit as terrifying as the legend now says. In the early hours of the 18th of August, 1973, a grave robber steals several corpses from a cemetery near Newt, Muerto County, Texas. The robber ties a rotting corpse and other body parts onto a monument, creating a grisly display that is discovered by a local resident as the sun rises. Driving in a van, 5 teenagers take a road trip through the area. Sally Hardesty, Jerry, Pam, Kirk, and Sally's paraplegic brother Franklin. They stop at the cemetery to check on the grave of Sally and Franklin's grandfather, which appears undisturbed. As the group drives past a slaughterhouse, Franklin recounts the Hardesty family's history with animal slaughter. They soon pick up a hitchhiker who talks about his family who worked at the old slaughterhouse. He borrows Franklin's pocket knife and cuts himself, then takes a single Polaroid picture of the group, for which he demands money. When they refuse to pay, he burns the photo and attacks Franklin with a straight razor. The group forces him out of the van, where he smears blood on the side as they drive off. Low on gas, the group stops at a station whose proprietor says that no fuel is available. The group explores a nearby abandoned house owned by the Hardesty family. Kirk and Pam leave the others behind, planning to visit a nearby swimming hole mentioned by Franklin. On their way there, they discover another house, surrounded by run-down cars and run by gas-powered generators. Hoping to barter for gas, Kirk enters the house through the unlocked door, while Pam waits outside. As he searches the house, a large man wearing a mask made of skin appears and murders Kirk with a hammer. When Pam enters the house, she stumbles into a room strewn with decaying remains and furniture made from human and animal bones. She attempts to flee but is caught by the man and impaled on a meat hook. The man then starts up a chainsaw, dismembering Kirk as Pam watches. In the evening, Jerry searches for Pam and Kirk. When he enters the other house, he finds Pam's nearly dead, spasming body in a chest freezer and is killed by the masked man. With darkness falling, Sally and Franklin set out to find their friends. En route, the masked man ambushes them, killing Franklin with the chainsaw. The man chases Sally into the house, where she finds a very old, seemingly dead man and a woman's rotting corpse. She escapes from the man by jumping through a second-floor window, and she flees to the gas station. With the man in pursuit, Sally arrives at the gas station when he seems to disappear. The station's proprietor comforts Sally with the offer of help, after which he beats and subdues her, loading her into his pickup truck. The proprietor drives to the other house, and the hitchhiker appears. The proprietor scolds him for his actions at the cemetery, identifying the hitchhiker as the grave robber. As they enter the house, the masked man reappears, dressed in women's clothing. The proprietor identifies the masked man and the hitchhiker as brothers, and the hitchhiker refers to the masked man as Leatherface. The two brothers bring the old man Grandpa down the stairs and cut Sally's finger so that Grandpa can suck her blood. Sally then faints from the ordeal. The next morning, Sally regains consciousness. The men taunt her and bicker with each other, resolving to kill her with a hammer. They try to include Grandpa in the activity, but Grandpa is too weak. Sally breaks free and runs onto a road in front of the house, pursued by the brothers. An oncoming truck accidentally runs over the hitchhiker, killing him. The truck driver attacks Leatherface with a large wrench, causing him to fall and injure his leg with the chainsaw. The truck driver flees, while Sally, covered in blood, flags down a passing pickup truck and climbs into the bed, narrowly escaping Leatherface. As the pickup drives away, Sally laughs hysterically, while an enraged Leatherface swings his chainsaw in the road as the sun rises. Many believed it was a snuff film. In the UK, it was outright banned by the British Board of Film Classification for years. In Australia, the film was refused classification and denied release in multiple states. Even in the US, theaters refused to show it, fearing legal action, protests, and moral backlash. What made it worse? Most of the gore is implied. Not shown yet, the psychological horror was so intense that people fainted during screenings. The film's grainy quality and documentary-style realism tricked audiences into thinking they were watching something illegal, immoral, and possibly real. Despite the bans, Texas Chain Saw Massacre went on to become one of the most influential horror films of all time. It launched an entire genre of backwoods horror and inspired countless slasher icons from Halloween to The Hills Have Eyes. But the psychological damage it left on actors like Marilyn Burns, who wasn't told about some scenes in advance, showed just how far filmmakers pushed boundaries back then. So, was the Texas Chain Saw Massacre a horror masterpiece or a disturbing accident of cinematic chaos? Whatever you believe, one thing is certain: it was so powerful, they tried to erase it. But legends don't die. Follow or subscribe the channel for more stories behind the world's most banned, broken, and unforgettable films.